Great to have you back.
Thank you.
Welcome. How does the team look this season?
Yeah, once again, I think I say this every year when you ask me that question. This time it's very early to tell. We have had a couple camps. It is probably more change from last year to this year than from 15 to 16. We have some new import players. We have Clark Evans at quarterback, and we have Jeff Worthy on the defensive line. And so the players are starting to get used to them. Both those guys have come in and demonstrated a real willingness and ability to coach and work with players at their position group. So that's been really good to see. They've integrated themselves pretty quickly into the team. So we have a couple of weeks of preparation to go, and we're looking forward to that, and we're looking forward to getting this new season underway.
Mm-hmm. You said it, like new American players, also not a couple of players who don't play anymore. A new defensive coordinator. Do you expect some bumps during the run, like maybe for the first part of the season?
I think, yeah. Anytime you make change, you don't know what to expect. I think when we looked at last season, some of the things that worked in 2015 didn't work as well in 2016. And looking forward into this season. Especially on the defensive side of the ball, we realized that we should make some changes based on the personnel that we have. A few players have left the team. Mostly, one guy's going to Zurich. He's going to Police Academy now. A couple guys got jobs in Davos. But for every guy that left the team, we have a new rookie player joining the team. I think we have 8 right now joining the team as adult rookies, and 2 or 3 of them will probably get immediate playing time. Which is a nice surprise to have guys with athletic ability who pick up the sport very quickly. And once again, like it was 2 years ago, the local players really do a great job of, there's only so many of us coaches, far fewer than in an American program. So we can't coach every guy on every play. And it's good to see some of the Swiss guys helping those guys along, especially watching like Max and Leon Fair, who were 2 years ago rookie players. Now they're helping out a couple of receivers that we have that are brand new. So it's good to see that kind of stuff going on.
Broncos have a huge streak of Swiss Bowl appearances. Last year the Broncos lost. Is your expectation this year to win it again?
Well, I mean, you founded the club, you and your brother. The first 17 years of the Broncos, there was one Swiss Bowl victory, and then there was a streak that began in 08 or 09, but that streak was built largely on the use of a very aggressive import policy. And as you know, starting in 2015, that import policy changed quite a bit. So it shouldn't be a surprise that you undergo that change, and you're not going to win 50 games in a row. I don't think any team in Switzerland is going to win 50 in a row. I think the league is incredibly balanced, and as we've built this thing, more with a long-term plan in mind, we're really pleased that we've won 21 games out of 24, because I think just everyone is a little surprised by that. If you look around the history of American football in Europe, you look at the Hamburg Blue Devils that were a power that ran out of money, and that club doesn't exist anymore. The Bergamo Lions had a similar import policy, and I don't know when they've been in the playoffs last. So it's for us to have undergone such a change and still remain competitive is a real testament to the Swiss guys, the Swiss players that we have, and also people like Danny Zinsley, Walty Chechel, the guys that kind of held this club together through that really rough period. And now, hopefully we're building something where year in and year out we expect to be competitive. But to say that year after year after year, 20 years in a row, we're going to win the Swiss Bowl, I think that's I don't think that's a realistic expectation and I don't think anybody in our club has that expectation. They expect us to be competitive, they expect us to be good, but they also expect us to continue to build our local Swiss players, and that's what we're doing.
Well, you've done a great job, and the fans are spoiled, especially the last 2 years when everybody was expecting the Broncos. Well, they may even be a bottom tier club.
It's funny to watch everyone run away from those statements. There were a lot of statements, a lot of loud noise, a lot of bold proclamations. And now people are, I didn't say that, so that's fine. It's humorous to watch that, but that's not really what we spend our time thinking about. We spend our time thinking about how to integrate more players, how to build our youth program up, how to reach more and more kids. We're going out again into local schools and doing flag football lessons, trying to recruit and demonstrate the sport to young kids. We picked up 4 kids to our U13 flag program last year doing that, and hopefully we'll have a similar result. when you're in a small town like Coeur and the surrounding area, you can't leave any stone unturned, and you can't sit around and make excuses about lack of population. Certainly, the big cities, aren't gonna give you any advantages. Cities with 10 times our population don't have 10 times our numbers. So we have to do the best job we can what we have here, and fortunately, this area, this part, breeds a lot of scrappy kids, country kids that are used to being outside, kids that are used to that aren't afraid of contact right away, and that's a good thing. That's one of the reasons why we've been able to have so many players start as rookies and get on the field fairly quickly, because they're willing to initiate contact and receive contact, and if they're willing to do that, the rest you can learn.
Mm-hmm. Can you say maybe something what the fans can expect from your team? Is there something that you can say the Broncos 2017, the outlook of the team, the style of play, or what kind of team?
It's not the change will be more defensively than on offense. I would say offensively, our system will probably remain very similar. I think Clark's skill set is very similar to Josh's. Both are very good athletes. Both can run. I would say Josh might be a little smaller, more mobile. Clark is maybe just a step slower, but a little bit thicker, bigger, and delivers the ball just a little bit faster than Josh could. And then, I think the addition of Jeff Worthy on the defensive line sort of speaks to, where we felt like we needed the most help. We've had a much improved offseason from last year to this. Me living in Coeur year-round helps with that. The last 2 years I've been living in, I was living in Vetsicon. But I think when we started testing guys, it was very clear in terms of attendance at workouts and production in the results of the testing. The defensive lines where we needed the most help, and Jeff was, in my opinion, the best guy on the market this year. Has already been in Switzerland. Was a big addition for Bern last year, and came fairly highly recommended from the people I spoke to about him. He's already shown that he does a great job. He coaches at a junior college in the same conference that I worked in California many years ago. So he's come in and done a great job. And I think defensively is where people will see the biggest change. I don't want to bore everybody with details of strategy, but the structure of our defense is going to be different than it was the last 2 years. And I think it's a better use of our talent now than what we built here in 2015. We have a different team now than we did then, and we need to acknowledge that and make appropriate changes.